Two, 1, 2. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Thank you so much for joining us here in Dee's Country Lounge in East Nashville and Madison. For anybody who's watching us online, my name is Aoife Scott. For anybody who saw my name written down, it looks like Aoife or Waffy or Effie. Generally, I turn around with anything with an F in it, as long as it's not the F word. I still turn around to that. So. But we're going to sing some songs. We have Andy here on guitar and the amazing Ron Block from Alice Krauss Union Station. Yes. We'll tell you some stories as we go, but we're going to start with this song just to warm us up. This is a song called Fuel I Need. I hope you like it. Why the need to bring me down when we've been allies for so long? Your words will never ring true, and I say that I will prove you wrong. 'Cause I won't beg or plead. You're the fuel I need, brings out the fight in me. You're the fuel I need. So deep, they're always there. I've heard them all along. But with faith here as my shield, I'll carry on and I will prove you wrong. 'Cause I won't beg or plead. You're the fuel I need, brings out the fight in me. You're the fuel I need. Cut so deep, they're always there. I've heard them all along. But with faith here as my shield, I'll carry on and I will prove you wrong. 'Cause I won't beg or plead. You're the fuel I need, brings out the fight in me. You're the fuel. Thanks so much. So, yes, my name is Aoife Scott. I'm from Dublin, in Ireland, not Dublin, Ohio. But this is Andy, he's also from Dublin. This is Ron, and he's not from Dublin. He is from Franklin out that way. He's from a different place altogether. We have lots of stories as to why we end up on the stage together here in East Nashville. We were here in March 2020 when things all went very wrong and we had to get an emergency flight home back to Ireland when things locked down. And you won't believe it, but Ireland was still in a lockdown, slightly version of a lockdown in January of this year. So we've had it now tense a few years. So this is our first trip back to America since all of that happened, and we're delighted to be here. Thanks very much. Thanks a million. We're going to sing songs from Dublin. We're going to sing songs that we created together on an album in Ron's house 2.5 years ago. So we're going to sing some of those songs. But this song is a song that I got from my Nana Scott. I come from a very musical family, but on the Scott side of things, they weren't very musical. And my Nana, it didn't stop them from trying though. My Nana Scott, she couldn't really sing, you know. She was a very formidable lady, very powerful lady. If you did something wrong, she would give you the dirtiest look of all kind. She had this sideways look that would stop you in your tracks. And we were all in her kitchen in her house in Dublin. It was the coldest house I've ever been in. There was no heating. And back then, you know, it was so cold that we went to school with no shoes on our feet in the snow. No, we didn't. Oh, listen, we didn't. It was cold. We were all in the kitchen, and that was the warmest place in the house because she's cooking all day, and that's where the cooker is. And I'll never forget being about 11 years of age, and she started singing this next song to me. And even though she hadn't a note in her head, she couldn't sing. It was one of the most magical things I ever heard in my life. I went home to my mother and I said, "Mom, I heard this song today," and it really stopped me. I just couldn't believe it. So I learned it, and then a few years ago when my nana was in the nursing home and she had dementia, you know, she wasn't sure where she was. I was able to sing this song to her, and she was able to sing it right back to me, and actually give me the dirtiest look about getting the words wrong as well. So she was amazing. But it's all about walking Dublin. Has anybody here been to Dublin before? A few. You're very quiet. Usually it goes, yay! They have a great time there. But it's all about walking a street on Dublin called Grafton Street on a sunny Sunday afternoon. So I want you all to imagine you're in Dublin now walking on a non-rainy day there. I hope you like it. Dublin can be heaven with coffee at 11 and a stroll through Stephen's Green. There's no need to worry, there's no need to hurry. You're the king and the ladies are queen. Grafton Street's a wonderland. There's magic in the air. There's diamonds in the ladies' eyes and gold dust in her hair. And if you don't believe me, come and meet me there in Dublin on a sunny summer's morning. I've been north and I've been south and I've been east and west. I've been like a rolling stone. But there's one place that I know I'll always love the best, just a little down to call my own. 'Cause Dublin can be heaven with coffee at 11 and a stroll through Stephen's Green. There's no need to worry, there's no need to hurry. You're the king and the ladies are queen. Grafton Street's a wonderland. There's magic in the air. There's diamonds in the lady's eyes and gold dust in her hair. And if you don't believe me, come and meet me there in Dublin on a sunny summer's morning. I've been here and I've been there. I've sought the rainbow's end, but no rock of gold I found. But I know, come what may, whatever fate may bring, here my feet are deeply in the ground. 'Cause Dublin can be heaven with coffee at 11 and a stroll through Stephen's Green. There's no need to worry, there's no need to hurry. You're the king and the ladies Yes, so I'm very Irish. I'm gonna sing some Irish songs for you, if you'll excuse that. But we're gonna sing a song by a man called Dominic Behan, who wrote this about all the men that ended up going to England, which is a completely different country to Ireland, and we have a very fraught relationship with them. And we're all very friendly now, but over the years it was fraught enough. But this is a song about all the working class men that went to England and built all the roads, and they didn't come home. And it's kind of got it's a sad song about how a lot of them would end up passing away from all their jobs, but he kind of wrote it in a comical way. So some fellas ends up falling into cement mixers and all sorts of things. So like, anyway, that's why I smile during this song. It's not because I'm psychotic. So anyway, I hope you like it. I'm going to sing this for Bill, who spent his college years in England. I'm going to sing it. It's called Building Up and Tearing England Down. I have won a hero's name with McAlpine and Costain, with Fitzpatrick Murphy's Ash and the Wimpy's gang. I've been often on the road, on my way to draw the dough, when there's nothing left to do for Johnny Lang. Now I used to think that God built the mixer picking hard, so that Paddy might know hell above the ground. I've had gangers big and tough tell me tear it all out when you're building up and tearing England down. In the tunnel underground, a young Limerick man was found. He was built into the new Victoria line. When the bonus gang had passed, sticking to the concrete cast was the face of little Charlie Joe Devine. Oh, the ganger man McGregor, oh, Big Paddy hates the work. The gas main burst and he flew off the ground. Oh, they said, don't slack, I'll not be there until I'm back. Keep on building up and tearing England down. I was on the high road down on the day that Jack McCann, he got his better of the stammering me. He fell from the shuttering dam, and that poor old stuttering man, he was never ever born inclined to speak. And I saw balls of gold from the big flyover fall into a concrete mixer spinning down. Though it wasn't his intent, he got a fine head of cement when he's building up and turning England down. I remember Carrier Jack with the heart upon his back, how he swore one day he'd set the world on fire. Well, his face you've never seen since his shovel hit good clean to the middle of the big high tension wire. Oh, no more like Robin Hood will he roam through Cricklewood and dance around the pubs in Camden Town. Oh, but let no man complain, for no Pat will die in shame when he's building up and turning England down. So come all you navvies bold, who do think that English gold is just waiting to be taken from each side? For the likes of you and me will never get to know me, or a knighthood for its service to the heart. They have a concrete master race who will keep you in your place, and a ganger man to kick you to the ground if you ever try to take part of what the bosses make when you're building up and turning England down. Keep on building up and turning England down. Thanks very much. Okay, thanks very much. So, just to explain a little bit how us three are together, in Dee's Country Cocktail Lounge in East Nashville. Thanks so much to Jeff Burke for hosting us here tonight. As we said, this is our first time back in America in 2 years, 2.5 nearly, and we're very excited to be here. We were over in Kansas City at the Focal Lines, showcasing out there and meeting lots of amazing people. And then we played in Leaper's Fork last night in the old Puckets that was there. It's Fox and Lock, it's called now. And then this weekend we're head up to Chicago, so we're going to do some shows and then we head back. And then we come back out in July and we're here for 6 weeks. But yeah, no, it's incredible that we're playing music together. We made an album with Ron in 2019, and that's why we're all together again. And it's great to be able to play these songs live with Ron, because we only got maybe 1 or 2 opportunities to do this in the past. So we're going to sing another song off the new album. It's written by a man called Barry Kerr. It's a song, it's a little bit angry against the politicians of Ireland. And be it whether you want to be angry at your own politicians, you can. But I guess it was about 10 years ago, or 12 years ago now, when Ireland was brought to its knees by some decisions that were made by the government. And greed took over, and we were basically left in bits as a country. So it's a little bit angry, calls the old government bags of snakes and all that jazz. So it's kind of awkward because my mother has since become a politician. But she's good, so she's a good one. So we'll sing it for you. It's called Ireland's Hour of Need. Come all you gallant heroes, wherever you may be, offspring of this nation, so few and far between. You who did the fighting when our backs were to the wall. In our hour of need, you'd stand and bleed and rally to her call. In this troubled time upon us, we are once more in your quest. Evil has surrounded us and beaten us with debt. The government, like a bag of snakes, has poisoned us with greed and sold us off to the IMF for the monster needs of eat. Now these bankers and politicians have no worries like you and me. Fat cats and their pensions live lives so full and free. They sold their souls for gas and gold. They're coming for you next. Rise up again, shake off the chains and the noose around your necks. Now our patriots who went before must be turning in their grave. The vision that they live for was such a better place. James Connolly, rise up your soul and lift us from this hell. And please ask the braves of 16 to come back and fight as well. So come all you gallant heroes, wherever you may be, offspring of this nation, so few and far between. You who did the fighting when our backs were to the wall. In our hour of need, you'd stand and lead and rally to her call. In our hour of need, you'd stand and lead and rally to her call. Thanks very much. I might do Homeward now, if that's all right. Which one? Homeward. Is that all right? Homeward? Huh? Homeward? Yeah. Okay, so 3 years ago we recorded an album with Ron. It's called Homeward. So this is I'm going to sing that next song for you now. But just to explain how we ended up meeting Ron Block, the amazing Ron Block. We were at a festival in Scotland called Celtic Connections, and we were supporting special guest to an amazing singer from England called Kate Rusby. And not only were we a little bit starstruck because of that, because we were in the Royal Concert Hall, and it's a massive place, you know. So we did our sound check, and then Kate came on and was doing her sound check, and then all of a sudden we just like, wait a minute, is that Ron Block? And we got very starstruck, and I didn't know how I was going to go over and say hello to him, but I managed to introduce ourselves. And then, you know, waffling away, ended up talking his ear off in the bar that night, became Facebook friends. And so in my eyes, that was friends for life. I was telling everybody, it's like, we're Facebook friends. And then 3 months later, I saw, I was dropping Andy into Dublin City into a gig that he was doing, and went home to my parents' house and I was looking for them, nobody around. I was skimming through Facebook and I saw that Ron had put up a picture. He was in Dublin before a gig with Alison, and he was on a tourist trip, and I was like, oh, Ron, you know, if you need any suggestions, I can, you know, suggest some cool places. And he was like, oh, I'm not sure where to go, blah, blah, blah. And I said, look, I'll pick you up, right? Seeing as we were Facebook friends at this stage. So I picked him up and we met up with Andy, and then 5 days later we came home from the pub, and we had a great time of drinking and tearing around Dublin and Scotland, and then we came back. So then I managed to convince him to make an album with us in his lovely home out the other side of Franklin, and that's what happened. So this is what these songs are all from, and we're delighted to be performing them. This next song is written before lockdown, before we all got sick of our own houses, and it's about appreciating your home and the roof that you have over your head and being very welcome. Myself and Andy live in a place outside of Dublin called Kildare. It's surrounded by 300-year-old trees, and it's got so much wildlife and birds, and they just sing to us all the time. So I wrote this song about the home birds that live there. This is called Homebird. Swallows flying low, see them follow seasons flow, how they dance as they go through the rusty gate where the fields of barley grow, go from grey to brown to green, then go home. Homebirds are waiting for me. Light's getting older, the barley grows golden as far as I can see. The secrets of trees, whisper and breathe, they're watching over, safe under cover, the homebirds and me, the homebirds and me. Heron's Lake and think of nothing for the day till the pheasant scares away the homebirds and Okay, I'm just going to explain how I ended up on a stage in Dee's Country Cocktail Lounge. I'm from a very musical family. My mother and my aunt and all my family are in the musical business. It's kind of like my dad is a manager, my brother is a bass player, my brother's also a singer. My cousins are very famous singers as well. And I tried really, 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 really hard not to join the family business. The idea of leaving school and becoming a musician was not something that I wanted to do at all. I saw how hard my family worked, I saw how hard my mum worked over the years, and I just said, this is not for me. I was also very shy growing up. I was always the child sitting in the corner on the stairs, hiding away from any jams, any sing-songs that we had. I just couldn't pay me to sing a song in front of anybody. Now you can, turns out. Something happened. My mother reckons I banged my head, but I guess I went to college. I went to university. I tried to do something different with my life. I ended up in a job after that. I was working all the hours that was available to me in the day. I was working from 6 in the morning until 11 o'clock at night, and I was fairly miserable. I tend to suffer from sadness. I call it the sadness. It's depression, and during this period of my life when I was working in this job, I was just really, really in a low space. I was working in Dublin, and for anybody who's been to Dublin before, you'll know that on sunny days it can be a very beautiful day, but this particular day I was working in an office just off the River Liffey there. The River Liffey is the river that divides the city in two. And I was going on my lunch break this day. I brought my sandwiches into work with me. They were jam sandwiches, jelly sandwiches. They were fairly miserable, scaldy sandwiches. We call it scaldy in Dublin. They were wrapped in cling film and had fallen to the bottom of my bag and were squished to an inch of their life. And I was feeling really, really sorry for myself going on my lunch break this particular day. It was lashing rain, of course. Mid-June in Ireland means rain. It always means rain forever. And not only was it lashing rain, but it's sideways rain, and just enough rain to get you wet all over, even though you have all your rain jackets on. You're all warmed up, but it just doesn't happen. So I was walking down with my horrible, miserable sandwiches down to the River Liffey to have my lunch break, and having a massive pity party for one. And during this period of my life, I suppose, because I was so low, I stopped singing. I was singing at home for myself. And, it's a funny thing because singing is such a joyous thing to do. And when you're feeling that low and that depressed, you forget to do the things that make you happy. And I was feeling this. I just forgot to do the thing that made me the most happiest, which was singing. And I stopped singing, I lost my voice, and I just was in a miserable situation. Andy here, this is Andy Meany, ladies and gentlemen, my fella, my partner. There he is. Thank you for giving him a round of applause. He deserves it. He's a patient man. He has to work hard to keep me calm. But he knew I was feeling particularly low this day, and he said, you know what, love, I heard the song, I think you should listen to it. So I was down there eating my horrible sandwiches on the boardwalk in the lashings of rain. I put in my headphones, I pressed play, and I heard the first few bars of this song. And something happened within an instant of hearing this 30 seconds of a song. Something broke within my chest. I felt something different for the very first time in a very long time. I felt something other than sadness. And I looked up to the sky, and the clouds parted, and the sun appeared, and all of a sudden the jam sandwiches were delicious. And it was the power of a song, the power of music can change everything in an instant, and it changed everything for me that day. I just felt something other than sad, and I sat there and I listened to this song, and it was just the most powerful feeling. And the next morning I woke up and I said, you know what, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to do something different to make me a happier person. And I became a musician full time, and that's why we're here in Dee's Country Lounge tonight. How's it going, everybody? Thanks very much. Sorry, look. Forgot about that. We're going to sing the song I heard for you that day, if that's okay. It's a song by a man called Bruce Cockburn, and he's a Canadian singer-songwriter. Yeah, he's brilliant. I'd never heard of him before this day, but he blew my mind with this next song. And it's a song called Wondering Where the Lions Are. And for me, my interpretation is that, I woke up the next day and I just felt something different. I didn't feel that sadness anymore, and the lions weren't going to come and get me. So I'm going to ask you to sing along with me, if that's all right. I'm going to embarrassingly play a banjolele beside Ron Block. It's a song very, very easy to sing along with. You gonna sing along with me? Yeah. Thanks, man, at the front. I appreciate it. You're on your own, though. I think I'm gonna sing, and I'm wondering where the lions are, and then I'm gonna ask you to sing, wondering where the lions are, and then I'm gonna sing, wondering where the lions are, and then you're gonna sing, wondering where the lions are. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah, yeah. I'm happy with that. I don't need to give you any more guidance. You're very good. Okay, here we go. I hope you like it. Wonder where the lions are. Sun's up, oh, looks okay. The world survives into another day, and I'm thinking about eternity. Some kind of ecstasy's got a hold on me. I had another dream about the lions at the door. They weren't half as frightening as they were before, but I'm thinking about eternity. Some kind of ecstasy's got a hold on me. Walls, windows, trees, waves coming through. You be in me and I'll be in you, together in eternity. Some kind of ecstasy's got a hold on me. Walls, windows, trees, waves coming through. You be in me and I'll be in you, together in eternity. Some kind of ecstasy's got a hold on me. All right, here we go. Let's see you sing it. And I'm wondering where the lions are.
Wondering where the lions are.
Wonder where the lions are.
Wondering where the lions are.
Wonder where the lions are.
Wondering where the lions are.
Gorgeous. Wonder where the lions are.
Wondering where the lions are.
Wonder where the lions are.
Wondering where the lions are.
Wonder where the lions are.
Wondering where the lions are.
Beautiful. You charge a flying boat, rises off the lake, clouds in your own picture clips, doing a double take. Got me thinking about eternity. Some kind of ecstasy's got a hold on me. Walls, windows, trees, waves coming through. You be in me and I'll be in you, together in eternity. Some kind of ecstasy's got a hold on me. All right, here we go. Let's hear you sing it. And I'm wondering where the lions are.
Wondering where the lions are.
Wonder where the lions are.
Wondering where the lions are.
Wonder where the lions are.
Wondering where the lions are.
Beautiful. And again, let's hear you sing it. Wonder where the lions are.
Wondering where the lions are.
Wonder where the lions are. Wonder where the lions are. Gorgeous. Afraid of something that unzips off the bay. One of these days we're gonna sail away, sailing to eternity. Some kind of ecstasy's got a hold on me. All right, here we go. And I'm wondering where the lions are. Wonder where the lions are. Wonder where the lions are. Gorgeous. And again, a little bit louder. Wonder where the lions are. Wonder where the lions are. Wonder where the lions are. All right, let's try it on our own. You ready? Here we go. Wonder where the lions are. Wonder where the lions are.
Wondering where the lions are.
Wonder where the lions are. Gorgeous. Last time, it's so good. Wonder where the lions are. Wonder where the lions are. Wonder where the lions are. Beautiful. Thank you so much. All right, do Sweet October. Okay. So So we mentioned that, so we were here in March 2020 and we had to figure out a way of getting back to Ireland when the lockdown happened. We had been emailing over here. We were about to embark on a 6-week tour starting in Nashville, actually. We were doing the Irish Festival here. And then when we got here, everything kind of fell apart and we had to figure out a way to get home before all the flights got cancelled. After that, Ireland went into nearly a 2-year kind of lockdown. We weren't working for about a year and a half, and it was tough. We weren't allowed to go past the 2-kilometre limit. You had to stay in your homes for a very, very long time, not just 3 months or whatever. It was really, we were really stuck to it, and we thought, naively when we flew home to Ireland, we were all sheltering in place and trying to be good, that by October in Ireland we would be back on the road. We were meant to be off in Germany or whatever. That didn't happen. So myself and Andy sat at home and we wrote this song about the idea that this is before we realised we weren't being back in work by October, that by October we would be back. But I think it's the idea of the fall, we call it autumn at home, that the fall, there is a renewal there. There's something there that when the leaves change and the air crisps and something changes all around, just the seasons changing, that we can start again. And it's not like it's our new year. That's how we feel. That when that starts again, there's something about it that's amazing and we can start again. So it's all about hope and really that everything is going to be okay. So I hope you like it. This is called Sweet October. Whistler roads, we know they feed the soul. Stop a while where the water meets the stone. Take a breath, you can almost taste the sea. It's a half-hour drive down towards Gilkey. And come, sweet October, all this will come together. All the things you'll ever hope for. Sunsets in sweet October sky. Yesterday, oh, I thought I read your mind. Of Amsterdam and to the Alpine sky. All those times you think deserve a smile will come again if you give a little time. And come, sweet October, all this will come together. All the things you'll ever hope for. Sunsets in sweet October sky. We won't even mind the rain. It'll be a perfect day. Give it all and you give it more than most. The western breeze, it always gives you hope. Ease your mind for better dreams tonight. Whistler roads in the evening light. And come, sweet October, all this will come together. All the things you'll ever hope for. Sunsets in sweet October. And come, sweet October, all this will come together. All the things you'll ever hope for. Sunsets in sweet October skies. won't even mind the rain. It'll be a perfect day. We won't even mind the rain. It'll be a perfect day. We might do Gypsy, you know that album we just rehearsed there? Yeah. Yeah, banjo, yeah. Do Gypsy. Okay, we're going to do a song that we is on my first album, so I'm putting Ron on the spot. But it's a song that I wrote for a friend of mine who had to leave Ireland in a very hurry. It was within the recession. The recession had a big, massive impact on us in Ireland. It's a little bit depressing, but she had to hand the keys of her house into the letterbox of the bank, and she got on a plane to Australia to find a better life. But when she got there, she was there with her 3 small kids, and things just turned for the worst. And her husband, who I won't say a curse word because we're streaming online at home and my mum might hear me, was a bit of a bee and a bastard, basically. And he left her with 3 small kids in Australia, and she had to find a new way of life, of working over there with her 3 small kids, and she was all the way away from home. And so she bought a Bedford bus. She moved her 3 kids onto it. She converted it. She was one of those people who did it way in advance. And she drove around Australia playing music festivals all over the world. She was calling herself a gypsy at the time. So I wanted to write this song for her. She was such a warrior. I called it Gypsy Warrior. Hope you like it. From the west of Ireland, she was born and raised through the limestone rock, like a phoenix through the flames. She emerged a fighter, using only love. She emerged a fighter, using love. Followed love over oceans with all her brood and dough, to find a better life like nomads long ago. But love betrayed her heart, and now she's on her own. This gypsy warrior fights alone. She's in the dark now, but tomorrow shall be light. She's feeling happy now, tomorrow she'll fight. She stands strong, this gypsy warrior, through it all. This gypsy warrior, using love, love, love as a shield. Know that she will succeed. She will rule them all. This gypsy warrior. When she told me of her past, I was not surprised to hear that she had wounds within her mind. For only someone with such tragedy could ever love as much as she. Fighting all those little wars, putting out the flames. She rules with love, bringing joy to people's dreams. Her light shines brighter with each and every day. She's working hard to be okay. She's in the dark now, but tomorrow there'll be light. She's feeling heavy now, tomorrow she will fight. She stands tall, this gypsy warrior, through it all. This gypsy warrior, using love, love, love as a shield. I know that she will succeed. She stands tall, this gypsy warrior, through it all. This gypsy warrior, using love, love, love as a shield. I know that she will succeed. She will rule them all. This gypsy warrior. Sorry, we're just having a good time, so just ignore us. Is that all right?
Oh, yeah.
Tangly do. Okay, so we're going to do Ron's favourite song, as he says so himself. As I said, I kind of, I mentioned being sad and going through bouts of depression or whatever. We came off tour, and I was really, really, really low, and I went through a massive writer's block. I couldn't write any songs, and it turned out to be kind of dealing with grief from missing a lot of people's funerals when we were on the road. We missed my grandmother's funeral, missed one of my really close friends who was helping me with my career. And it was, it just caught up with me when we got off the road, and I didn't know what to do with all the sadness, and I found it hard to write songs. And Ron said, you know what, you should read a book that I think you would really like, and it's called The War of Art. And I read it, and I wrote this next song, and it's all about just accepting yourself for all your flaws and complications. You're a complicated creature as a human, and sometimes your own brain can tell you very complicated lies. So, I hope you like it. This is called Tangled. I've always been so awkwardly honest. It's been something I've had all my life. Now I've had to make myself a promise not to live so close to the edge of the night. I'm tangled and I'm twisted, all the knots and in ties. I've talked myself into some complicated lies. Life can sometimes be a competitive contest, and the world makes it hard just to strive. I search for the place where my faith is the strongest. Then I turn my face to the light. I'm tangled and I'm twisted, all the knots and in ties. I've talked myself into some complicated lies. Now I know some days that feel like the lowest, but that day's not the end of this one. I've had to learn to stay in the moment, though it's harder when all's said and done. I'm tangled and I'm twisted, all the knots and in ties. I've talked myself into some complicated
That's a low one. That's a
D minor, is it?
D. I'll play guitar on it.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to do a song I wrote. Some of my songs that I write are with a man called Enda Riley, who lives in Plymouth, Michigan now. He's an Irish man, so you can check him out online. His name's Enda Riley Music is his taglines. But we wrote this song. I feel like as a country, Ireland has had to go through a lot of years of oppression. We've had to fight hard to hold on to our music, our language, and our art. So I was kind of angry. When I wrote this, I was out marching the streets and I was feeling annoyed. So the chorus of this goes, voiceless so we're singing, nameless but knowing who we are. In the shadow of politicians, we stand on the hill of Tara with our hurleys in our hands. We know where we stand. So anybody who doesn't know what a hurley is, it's like a hockey stick, but more aggressively played, and you can also use it as a weapon. So this is for anybody who's feeling angry at the government or whatever they've done, and hopefully we can change things. So hope you like it. This is called We Know Where We Stand. On the small little island that grows food, the bounty green, broken in despair as the hunger swept our country. On the edge of the colony as the ocean invites us to leave, drowning in immigrant waves, we flee. Oh, voiceless though we're singing, nameless but knowing who we are. In the shadow of politicians, we stand on the hill of Tara with our hurleys in our hands. We know where we stand. We know where we stand. The city with a liffey with its pumping, bouncing beat, where the lockdown workers, they took to the streets, and the post office burnt down in 1916. Did they know what their sacrifice would be? No, voices though we're singing, nameless but knowing who we are. In the shadow of politicians, we stand on the hill of Tara with our hurleys in our hands. We know where we stand. We know where we stand. On the rocks, on the sand, on the docks when home return, we know where we stand. On the rocks, on the sand, on the docks when home return, we know where we stand. Oh, voiceless though we're singing, nameless but knowing who we are. In the shadow of politicians, we stand on the hill of Tara with our hurleys in our hands. We know where we stand. We know where we stand. We know where we stand. Thanks very much. Sharp ending at the end there. Good. Can we do another reason? Thanks a million, everybody. You're very good. Thank you so much for listening. I was a little bit nervous, but you are very nice. You've made me very unnervous, so I appreciate it. We're going to do a song myself and Andy wrote together. This is a song, I guess, 5 years ago in our lives, everything changed. There's only myself and my brother in my family. We are very close in age. He is a year and 10 months older than me. We grew up very close, so much close that we bet the heads off each other. And my weapon of choice was my teeth. And his weapon of choice was that he wasn't allowed to hit girls, so he got a raw deal of the brother-sister relationship, unfortunately. But he's a very good brother. He got married about 10 years ago, and I wrote a song all about that because I wasn't sure whether I was going to lose him, but I didn't. But he had 5 years ago. He had his first grandchild, the first grandchild of our family, and his first child, my mother's first grandchild. I have not seen my mother since. She's obsessed with the baby, and we are all obsessed. Our WhatsApp group, our message group is what's going on with them all day, every day. We know how many times they've been eaten. We know how many times they've pooped. We love it. We wanted more information about all these babies. And so there's a new baby since then. And the day that Kitty was born, my first niece, Andy was sitting at home and we snuck into the hospital. My brother was giving me his pass to get in. Now back then you could kind of sneak in and get a cuddle off the baby. And I met my brother at the gate, the front door of the hospital. I had a balloon, a pink balloon for him. I handed him a balloon. And I've never seen a more whiter-faced man in all my life. After seeing his wife give birth to a baby girl, he was just in shock. So Andy was sitting at home. We sent him pictures of this beautiful baby girl, and he wrote the chorus of this next song. And then when we were staying out in Leaper's Fork, we were living in an Airbnb for a few weeks while we recorded this album. We wrote the rest of this song as a well-wishing song of love for my lovely niece Kitty and also my other niece Winnie. So I'm going to ask you to sing along. It's very, very easy to sing along. You did a great job on the Wonder Where the Lines Are song. It's called Another Reason. So you just have to sing, you're another reason for the sun to shine. You're another reason for the sun to shine. That's it. It's really easy, right? So I'll get you to sing it as we go. So I hope you like it. All the things you do gives meaning to your name. Every day a chance to change. Don't judge the day before the night. Measure in your mind all the things that make you smile. You're another reason for the sun to shine. You're another reason for the sun to shine. That's your bit there, okay? It's really easy. It's a certain kind of day the world has made for you. Clear skies shining midday moon. Treasure that curiosity. With the spinning of desert full of things you love to see. Okay, let's hear you singing now. Here we go. You're another reason for the sun to shine. You're another reason for the sun to shine. And again, a little bit louder. You're another reason for the sun to shine. You're another reason for the sun to shine. Look within your heart, find beauty in its place. Always find your loving grace. You'll feel a light that shines so bright. Know the love that's there for you for the sun to shine. And again, just turn up the volume. You're another reason for the sun to shine. You're another reason for the sun to shine. Oh, it's so beautiful. And again, you're another reason for the sun to shine. You're another reason for the sun to shine. Beautiful. For the sun to shine. For the sun to shine. For the sun to shine. Thanks so much. Okay, we're coming close to the end. Not just the end yet, but we're coming close to the end of our set because we have to clear the stage. But we are going to do Irish Born. We'll do Irish Born, yeah? Irish Born, yeah. Okay, we're going to do this song. So just so you know, these songs, a lot of these songs are from an album that was released in 2020. And because of the COVID situation, we have them been locked in Ron Block's basement for the last 2 years. So we made a CD, we made 2,000 copies, and they've been in Ron's basement. So if anyone would like to take them home, we don't want to take them home, if that's okay. We've also got T-shirts, and my face is on a T-shirt over there, which I'm quite embarrassed about, but that's what I did. And if anyone would like to take one, they're over there on this little light-up area over there. But we're going to sing a song from that album. This is a song that Andy wrote, all about the Irish Americans that have come over to America and built up their jobs and became who they were, and we're very proud of the people that we meet. And we meet so many people all over the country. We play a lot of Irish fests all over the country, in the Midwest particularly, and we just get blown away by so many people that we meet, and even people who feel connected to Ireland who aren't even Irish. And in my eyes, everybody who thinks they're Irish is Irish. So it's got a good chorus that goes, I've crushed ice in Savannah, wore shades in LA, made coffee in Manhattan, I'm Irish, born and raised. I'm going to ask you to sing it as we go. Hopefully you will. See, you're doing a great job of singing. I'm delighted about that. I suppose you have no excuse being from Nashville. So we'll sing this, and then we'll leave you with one last song. So thank you so much for listening. You are very good. Thank you so much. Thanks a million. My nature that moves my very bones, that makes me seek adventure far from my native home. I've come across the water, traveled many miles, saved money for some paper that lets me stay a while. I've crushed ice in Savannah, wore shades in LA, made coffee in Manhattan, I'm Irish born and raised. I've crushed ice in Savannah, wore shades in LA, made coffee in Manhattan, I'm Irish born and built in great fun. Thanks so much. I did me too. I don't know what was going on. We just enjoying ourselves up too much. We forget that there's an audience in front of us. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to that point in the evening where we're going to have to say goodbye. Oh, that's where you do. Oh, yeah, that's better. We do it again. You ready? Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to that point in the evening where we have to say goodbye. Oh, yeah, that's very good. You're very good. Thank you so much. We have to say a massive thanks to everybody here at Dee's Country Cocktail. Will you give the staff and Jeff Burke a massive round of applause? Thank you so much for having us. Ladies and gentlemen, give a massive round of applause. She's under so much pressure with all of us Irishness coming out. On sound, Audrey over there, ladies and gentlemen, give her a massive round of applause. And we have to give special mention to the wonderful Sandra Block for doing all the driving, all the feeding. She's up the front there. Everybody look at her. She's beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. Give her a massive round of applause. And of course, I have to thank my manager, who never gets a thank you, Mr. Colin Gillen there, who's walking around with all the cameras. Thank you so much, Colin. Thanks a million. We're going to finish with this one. This is a song, ladies and gentlemen, that went to #1 in the iTunes charts in Ireland. Yes, it did. So we're going to make it #1 in Madison tonight. No, we're not. It's okay. But this is a song all about the west coast of Ireland for anybody who hasn't been to Ireland on their holidays. There's a place called the Wild Atlantic Way. And it's like our version of Route 66, but colder, wetter, greyer, but 10 times more beautiful. So if you haven't been there, you should come on your holidays. This is a song all about a woman asking her husband, who's passed away before her, to come back and bring her all the places that they went to on their honeymoon, which is all along the Wild Atlantic Way. And if you want to sing along, we'd love that. It goes, when will you bring me my love? I'm counting down the days. When will you bring me my love? All along the Wild Atlantic Way. So this is for Bill, the front row as well. Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks for listening to us. Thanks. When will you bring me my love? I'm counting down the days. When will you bring me my love? All along the Wild Atlantic Way. I'm 60 years in Nova Scotia, waiting for the day that we're returning home. All along the Wild Atlantic Way. When will you bring me my love? I'm counting down the days. When will you bring me my love? All along the Wild Atlantic Way. Remember when we went to Bunthead, the shipwreck in the bay? We sat and watched the north and west sunset all along the Wild Atlantic Way. The time that we climbed Croagh Patrick, we nearly went astray. Our legs were aching, falling off us all along the Wild Atlantic Way. Okay, here's the chorus if you know it yet. When will you bring me my love? I'm counting down the days. When will you bring me my love? All along the Wild Atlantic Way. The time that we went skinny dipping down in Derry, smelling the Galway salted ocean all along the Wild Atlantic Way. The time that we met Willie Clancy piping in Mull Bay, we sang and danced till the early morn all along the Wild Atlantic Way. All right, let's see you sing now. Here we go. When will you bring me my love? I'm counting Before we go, I have to introduce to you again these fine men on the stage. Have you ever seen better looking men in your life? No, you haven't. On the, on the guitar all the way from Dublin, it's Mr. Andy Meany. And what can I say about this man to my right, ladies and gentlemen? We wouldn't be here without him. All the way from Franklin, Tennessee, it's Mr. Ron Black. We're going to leave you with one little short tune left. But before we do, I'm going to ask everybody, we're going to have to put one hand in the air. Everybody's going to have to put their left hand or a right hand. Yeah, right hand in their air. Yeah, that's it. Everybody put it up. I'm not doing it. I'm not singing this without going. We're going to put our left hand in the air. We're going to put this together in time of the music. You ready? Hup, 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 Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ron Block, Andy Meany, my name is Aoife Scott. Thank you so much. Thanks everybody for tuning in at home. Thanks again, Jeff. Thanks a million.